How awesome to have so many people register for this event. So we've had over 500 people register. Yeah, it's been incredible. And as with me, like these harebrained ideas just come through like lightning, and then the team just rally around and make it happen for me. So it's really, really cool. So we'll give everybody just a minute to settle in. But while we do that, I really want to introduce our panel of experts that we have here today. And it's a mix, really, great bag of coaches, quantum holographic echo healers, and they all have different gifts. So they've trained with Soul Awakening Academy. And at Soul Awakening Academy, of my value really is not just to create therapists and coaches, but to help you create businesses. And I love to see people's success. So we always get our graduates involved in some way to build their business and help build our community too. So let's quickly go around the panel. I'll just do it with people I can see. Amanda, let's start with you. Just introduce yourself really quickly. So
Hello, I'm Amanda. I'm an empowerment coach. I did the Soul Awakening spiritual transformational spiritual, what's it called? Life coaching diploma and
yeah.
the introduction, and also quantum holographic echo healing as well. So I am really excited to be here. Absolutely love coaching and QHEH. I've got a real heart to work with women who have experienced coercive controlling relationships, which have created limiting beliefs with themselves, and I love guiding people to empowerment. That's what lights me up. It's great to be here.
Amazing. So Victoria, let's go to you next, lovely.
Hey, so I'm Victoria. I trained with Anne-Marie 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Just, I think, oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind. I've set up 3 businesses since then. So coaching training, and then another coaching business as well. And my area of specialism is, well, basically I'm a business coach and mentor and power activator. So my time has really been dedicated to helping women in business, born to lead, basically accelerate their business and their power and their impact.
Yeah, and it's amazing to have you back with us, because you've really got in with doing all the International Women's Day stuff with us as well. So I really support everything that you're doing. And Amanda didn't say that, but I've seen you grow from strength to strength, and I love watching it and getting involved and helping you. Thanks, Victoria. So Kristen, I know it's really early for you, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, so I'm a spiritual life coach, tarot reader, and I studied and did the quantum holographic healing as well here. And I really work in the area of life and career, helping women who are feeling just unsatisfied with where they are to really step into their fullest potential, driven by their soul purpose.
I love that. I love that. Right, I'm just letting people in still. Right, who next? Let me see. Emma?
Hi.
Lovely to have you here.
So I study, or still am studying, spiritual life coaching at master level with Anne-Marie. And I met Anne-Marie in 2022. Mine's been a big kind of roller coaster journey, and I mainly work with ladies and helping them to kind of rediscover themselves, what their purpose is, and rewriting their stories, working on their self-worth, and refinding their purpose and where they want to be in life and what they want to be doing. So yeah, that's what I do.
And you've done spiritual facilitation and on all of the good stuff with the 7 steps to spiritual alchemy and awaken heart healing. So retreat leadership, facilitating workshops, healing circles, that kind of thing. So yeah, you've really taken it, I won't say by storm, haven't you? You've really grabbed hold.
Oh, well, when I met you, I was, literally a quivering wreck. You
were about to transition. Yeah. So you've really jumped in 2 feet first. So that's amazing. All right. So Paula.
Hi everyone. I'm
Hello.
Paula, a spiritual life and well-being coach, and I work with professional women who feel like they've lost themselves and they're burnt out with stress. And I just help them to really rediscover who they are, what they want in their lives, and find some peace and freedom. And I also do energy work. I'm quantum holographic echo healing trained as well, and use the EFT and other energy practices.
Yeah, and you're another one that I've seen just grow from strength to strength. So thanks so much for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Paula. So Sam.
Hi.
Hi.
So yes, hi. Yeah, I'm Sam. I'm a medicine woman and psychic medium. And I did the quantum holographic training first with Anne-Marie a few years ago. And I'm also in other courses of Anne-Marie's. And yeah, so I also help business women who've just lost their sparkle and overgiven to everyone else, find connection again back to their own heart, mind and body, and that spiritual connection and personal development and growth to be true to themselves.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. Okay, now I'm just going to see how many we've got in the gallery. Wow, that's incredible. That's just blown me away. Is everybody okay if I take a quick picture? If you don't want to be in it, I'll just post it on social media. Just turn your cameras off. But if not, that looks incredible. Yay, that's so cool. All right, so this is really in celebration of International Coaching Week. I love coaching. I'm a healer at heart, but the way that I do that is by helping people understand their minds and understand how they function in the world through their triggers, really, that leads to their thoughts and then ultimately their behaviors. And a lot of people come to coaching because they realize that the wheel isn't turning as it should. There's something that's given them these bumps in the roads. And quite often it's these repetitive patterns of behavior that people feel stuck in. Accompanied with that is our childhood, and it's the way that we've been conditioned to believe about ourselves, whether we lack confidence, whether we lack self-esteem, whether we believe that we're just not worthy of having the life that we want. So we've got you all here today because you have free direct access to people who have the skills, who've turned their lives around through facing their challenges and becoming coaches and healers, going against the grain and actually doing the things that a lot of you really want help with today. So what we'll do is we will open it up to this amazing audience that we have. And it's really just going to be a bit of a free-for-all, first come, first served. But we have some amazing questions that people have sent in that I will read out as many as I possibly can. But let's just open it and see how it goes. I'm literally winging it today, everybody. Don't know how this is going to run. But if one of you lovely people have a question that you would like to throw to the panel, and you can pick the person that you want to answer the question, or, you know, we'll just see who wants to give the advice on it. But let's just open it up, unmute yourself, and whoever is first can have their question answered.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I suppose it's so this is my situation. I am going to be 41 this year. I am national trainer for a very large company. I look after the whole of the UK and Ireland, and I am very burnt out. I am very miserable and unhappy in my job. I've done this type of work for about 24 years. However, I lost my mum about 3 years ago, and I deep dived into more holistic work. I became a Yushi Reiki practitioner and sort of dived more into like my holistic side. I also looked into doing a little bit of soul midwifery after I lost my mum, but then I'd had to go back to work. And I just fell off the holistic wagon, and then just fell back into the corporate world, being miserable, being burnt out, and I'm at this stage again now where one of my very close friends, she's very, very, very sick. I'm going through this thing again now where I'm like, my eyes are opening up to, you know, that I feel like I've got much more to give. So I've signed up to do a soul midwifery course on 13th of July. I started researching, came across you, Amory, and deep dived into everything that you do.
Right.
And I'm definitely going to be like signing up and doing some courses. But my question is, like, how at this age, when you've got so many, like, I've got a lot of outgoings, a lot of, like, you know, bills and stuff like that, like, how I'm so scared to make this jump, but I'm so unhappy in what I'm doing. And I just know that I'm here for something different. I know that I'm here for, like, yeah.
I love
just,
that question, Elizabeth. Did you send in a question? Because I've read.
yeah. I think
remember reading
I can't
it.
remember. I've read sent that many. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm
Did
literally
send
like,
in a question, and it was one of the ones on my list. Victoria, I'm going to throw this over to you because you're quite an expert in this, I feel. Oh, I can't hear you. Hang on, let me unmute you. That's it.
Would it be worth me, Anne-Marie, sharing a tiny bit of background then about?
You can really quickly though, just
very, 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 very quick. So Elizabeth, I quit corporate when I was 7 weeks pregnant with a few grand of savings. So I walked away from maternity pay, and I got to the point, like, you know, in your soul, if you get quiet enough, you know that you have to do it. There is literally no other way. And the universe will keep giving you more of the same problem continuously, again and again and again, until you recognize that it's going to be terrifying and it's scary and it's all these things, but you're born to do this. You're born to do this.
Thank you. Anybody else on the panel have a similar story or something we can offer? Yeah, go for it, Kristen.
Yeah, so I left corporate almost a year ago now, and I really got to the point where I was just completely burned out and unfulfilled in my job. But I think the biggest piece for me to officially leave, because it is a really big, scary decision. So just honor that feeling, know that it is a really big jump for you. And it's okay to feel that way. None of us are like super confident that everything's going to work out when we make that jump. But I think for me, it was when my personal values really started to differ so drastically than what I was experiencing my day job. And I felt like I was living these like double lives. So I would say you have to kind of know what it is you are really looking for and when you're ready to make the jump. And there's plenty of opportunities to do little like part-time over here and dive into your business over there. So, you know, I would say take it step by step and yeah, just honor everything that you're feeling and you're going through because it's scary and it's exciting and it's all the things. So
thank you so much. That's brilliant. While you were talking, I picked this archetype card for you, Elizabeth, and it was like, normally I'll split the deck into three, but it's like, no, she needs the one from the top, which I don't normally go for. So this one came out. But that is also coupled with another couple of cards. That again came out for you. So it's power. It's really tapping into your power and also gratitude. Okay, but a coaching question that I pulled from Barefoot Coaching. This is normally for team members, but going to relate it to you personally. How would you describe the environment of your team, physical and psychological? Now, you've already said that you're burnt out. So think about your environment. Do you want to get sicker? Like, how are you going to reclaim your power? Now, it might be that's where you start first. Do you know what I mean? You've got to, you know yourself best. You need to figure out, okay, what needs to come first? Is it the leap or is it the regaining of strength?
Okay.
You need to figure that one out to make that right decision for you that is not going to terrify you and you regret decisions. A lot of leaving jobs and transitioning, sometimes it does need strategy as much as it needs faith. It needs common sense as well.
Yeah.
So you need to weigh all of that up. But for me, what's like coming through is an important part of this is you regaining your power. Grateful for everything that you've got, everything that you're going through, because believe me, when I look back, it's only the worst situations that have made me who I am. Without them, I would not be who I am. End of story. So you need to also see why, who am I becoming because of this? Who you are now will be different in 5 years' time. But think about who you were 5 years ago to who you are now. What's happened? All those challenges that have made you kind of, have this feeling inside that you want to do more, you hear the greater things. All of that has led you to this point. So does that help in some way?
Yeah. Thank you. I had a call with my boss this morning. Like every Monday, we have our call for the week, just setting up. And I couldn't help, the emotion just came through, and I just burst into tears on the phone with frustration, because I'm at this point now where I'm like, this is not aligning with my values anymore. It is not, and I can't do it. I've been like this for a while, like up, down, up, down, up, down. And the last few weeks, I've just gone, and it's been, since there's a lot of astrological stuff going on at the minute. The Jupiter and Uranus in conjunction. That was in conjunction on my birthday. So it's almost like a rebirth.
Yeah.
The Scorpio full moon, it's literally like it's been insane, and it's all within this week. That's when I've found out, I've discovered you, and then this was happening, and I was like, right, okay, everything's like just like aligning, and it's like I'm at this stage now where it's like, yeah, I do just want to just run from it, but it's like, okay, I need to think how I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And so what you said just made complete sense.
Make decisions from a place of power, not from a place of lack.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for starting the ball rolling. I really appreciate it. Now we can see how it's going to go. Who would like to ask a question next? Yes, Janine? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Janine. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, I actually know Elizabeth. Elizabeth sent me the link to this, which
Amazing.
I'm very grateful for.
I love it.
So mine's a little bit similar to Elizabeth, but probably a little bit. Mine's more probably about confidence in my abilities. So similar to Elizabeth, I'm kind of in a sector that I'm not really that. It's not aligning with who I am really deep down. For over 10 years, I worked in the charity sector supporting people with drug and alcohol addiction. I've got a lot of childhood experience of different things where I feel like I've definitely gone through what I've gone through to be able to help others come through situations. I sidestepped into the higher education about 5 years ago because of all the funding cuts in our sector. So I'm doing a job that I'm good at, and I'm really loyal, and I get on with everyone, but I know deep down it isn't really fulfilling that side of me, being able to help other people. I've been exploring my mediumship for probably about 8-9 years now, and not really knowing how to progress that. I think a lot of me and Elizabeth have gone to open circles and stuff together, and I've kind of had experiences of reading for people, but then I think my own self-belief gets in the way, and I really want to expand on that and turn that into eventually becoming something that people might want to pay for in exchange for what I can deliver. But I guess I'm at a place where I'm not good enough for that, or how do I get to that next step, I guess. And similar to Elizabeth, I just can't take that dive financially at any point soon, but I'm more interested in kind of like gradually kind of building that up, probably in a part-time basis, but not knowing how to progress it or knowing what I need to do to develop that side of myself, I guess. I know some mediums, but I don't really know, everyone's journey is different. I just don't really know what I need to do, I guess, for me. I've done my Reiki attunement as well, but I guess the answer is probably always going to be, you need to sit with yourself probably and figure out, I don't know.
Well, there are so many avenues.
Sorry.
I know I'm going to throw it out to the panel, but one thing that came through is your language. You said, and you might not realize you said it, so I'd urge you to go back and watch the replay, is that people might want to pay for it. What do you need to change that to?
Well, when they do, hopefully, or
no.
Will? I don't know.
Will. When people will want to pay for it. So there's just a tweak in your language and in a voice, which is tied into confidence and self-belief. But the easiest thing to do is fake it until you make it. End of the day, it works.
Do that my whole life.
It does, because it's positive affirmations, and then eventually it's automatic behavior. So it's not, somebody might want to pay for it. You're not a beggar. You're not going to sit in the street and say, might you want to have? No, people will want to have it. People will want your services. So that's what you need to start changing your language towards. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think I've got all the knowledge sometimes. It's putting that in practice, isn't it? And believing it in yourself.
It's scary.
I'm good at helping others do that in themselves and, realize their potential. But when it comes to myself, I feel like a fraud sometimes. I'm really good at helping others progress.
You're not a fraud. So change the way that you talk outwardly. 100% change the way that you talk outwardly, and don't feel ashamed of kind of elating yourself. Don't feel there's obviously something wrapped up in that, and I get it. But the first thing about changing the neuroscience in the brain, so you become the newer version of you, are making the neural connections, and do it through speech and action, which equals behavior. So try and take that on board, and anyway, let's throw it out to the panel. So the people who just spoke first, let's give the other panelists a bit of a chance. Who would like to?
I'll go. So, hi, I would say do it scared, because I was in my career for 25 years, as a very steady job, etc., etc. I had no faith, got completely crushed by my work. Let it crush me. I'll take responsibility for that. But I would say do it scared. Have, like Anne-Marie said, it's kind of reiterating what she said, but you have got all that experience and you've got so much to offer from within you. And like she said, there obviously is other things that are tied up with it, but go for it. Don't wait for that perfect moment, because it will never come, and it will just stop you from stepping into who you deserve to be and who you want to be. And there is, I can guarantee you, so many people out there who need what you have to offer, that'll be more than happy to pay for what you can offer them, because they need your gifts, they need your services. So do it scared.
Anyone else? Thank you. Sam, yeah, go for it. Paula.
Hi, Janine. Yeah, so what came from me when you were talking is actually on the confidence side. I feel you would benefit from showing yourself more compassion. And I do feel there's maybe a bit of fear that you're going to be judged by others by stepping into that. And I totally get that, because whilst I'm a healer, also a medium, it's taken me many years to actually go out and say that. It is an ongoing development journey. I'm also feeling for you. There is, teachers come in all sizes. You've ended up here in Anne-Marie's world for a reason. So look at the different ways that Anne-Marie might be able to help you. But I do feel there is a teacher going to be coming into your world within the next 3 months, who's going to help you connect more with your spirit guides and how they want to work with you, because it is all within us. We all have it, but we do need that guidance at times to sort of unlock something. But I do feel for you there is some compassion to be done, working on your fears of the judgment, and also releasing some past stuff in your own life and your own healing journey is going to open up that spiritual channel and allow you to step into it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, my internet cut out before, so if I was looking blank, I was here, but it cut.
The card I pulled for you there is embracing. So sit with that. A part of this for me, this card, as I'm giving it to you, is really kind of about embracing yourself with love and kindness. So all of that support that you give out to other people, really now you do have to take your own medicine and embrace yourself and hold yourself in loving kindness as I know you would somebody else. And Paula, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Janine who said she isn't good enough, just for something for her to reflect on maybe. And what is the evidence of the work that she's already done as a medium?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Paul. I think it's a lot of my own, again, what Sam was saying, I think my own fear of other people's judgments, because a lot of people don't understand this world, I guess. But I'm I'm not there to prove it to anyone else, am I? I'm there for
No.
people who want to engage with it or don't.
Yes.
It's definitely my own stuff, because when I do end up doing, when I do partial readings, whatever they are for people, they do resonate. So I just need to actually believe it myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Amanda, anything to add?
Just that the feeling that came through to me as you were speaking was that you have this incredibly beautiful humility about you, which will allow you to communicate with people from a space that they're not used to being heard and they're not used to being seen. And it's making me really emotional because it's so, I feel it so strongly from you. But there's a fine line between humility and self-doubt, and it's just this it feels like there's some shame which is trying to force its way through and say to you that this work isn't right, or it's not, there's something wrong with it, or there's some judgment there with it. So I think for me, what's coming through for you is a beautiful humility, but warding against that self-doubt that's coming, and watching it where it's coming from, because I wonder if it may be coming from some shame, some experience of someone telling you that it's not right, or it's not good, or it's the devil, or whatever they might have said. I've had all those things said to me, so I know how that feels. Yeah, that's what's coming through for me for you.
Thank you. That's great. I wonder, does perfectionism rule in your world at all, Janine?
Say perfectionism.
Perfectionism.
Yeah, I'm a people pleaser, and perfectionism is the crux of that.
Can you see this card?
Yeah, I can just about make it out, yeah. Okay.
It's the woman like trying to do everything.
Spinning plates, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the perfectionism, and as you say, the pleaser. So that could definitely be at play here. Yeah, and it's all stuff that can be worked through. It's so easy. It's just action. That is opposite of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, amazing. So it's going really well so far, so good. Who would like to go next? Yeah,
Hi.
Jess. Oh, sorry. So, is it who just said yay?
Yeah, hi, Mira.
Hello, hi, and then Jess, you can go next. Yes,
Yeah.
go for
So
it.
I have a question. Since 25 years, I getting married. I have two child, but now child grown up, and I think what is the purpose of my life goal? So look after everyone, husband, big family, everything. I am spiritual person. Meditate since 9 years, and it's really very good connectivity with the universe. Also studying for just completed nutritionist and yogic science, everything I am doing, but I don't know what I have to follow. So that is a confusion of my life. What is the life goal for me?
I've got you. And what's just come through to me then is just before you said the last sentence, I had a feeling you were going to say a different word, and that was, what do I have to offer? I might be off there, but I felt like what you wanted to say was, what do I have to offer? Would that resonate with you?
Sorry?
Does the question that you may ask yourself, the deeper question is, what do I have to offer?
Yeah, that I thought before COVID, I am a working woman, like entrepreneur. And 3 years, my own business, I start up everything. And then because of COVID, it's all messed up. And then I started studying for, because I am a enthusiasm learner. So I don't like to sit like that. I want to know new things. I also just last year I completed numerology and everything I learned. So I am a quite a learner type. But what all this learning make sense? after what I have to apply in my life, or like I have to start my own business or like career, because I am 43, now completing 43 and going to 44. So now what is the purpose of my goal? So many things I learned. I am an artist as well, fashion designer. So since my childhood up to this age, I am only a good learner. Everything I have, multitasking, learning skills, everything. And also look after my big family, joint family. I am an Indian girl. So getting yeah, my I got married at the age of 20, and I have two girls.
I
So
think
both are
you've done incredibly well, and I just want you
yeah,
to.
yeah.
How do
So
you feel if I were to say to you, Mira, you've done incredibly well? How does
yeah,
it
yeah.
feel to receive a compliment like that? Are you okay with it?
Everything is okay, but I didn't achieve anything from my family. Not achieve actually, but no appreciation, nothing. So what
So
everything I have,
the
and
problem, the thing
problem is there.
the problem is, if I can just like get straight in there, the problem is, I feel, is that you don't understand your contribution, what you're here to offer you on a fundamental level. And it's not in a label or a package or a service or a sellable item. It's deep down inside. What do I have to offer? That's like the biggest question. And yes, 100% that comes down to family beliefs and what you've been told about yourself, and that your brain is on autopilot believing. So does that make sense to you?
No, actually, I sometimes I feel like before I don't have time. I look after everyone. Now I am. It's now like free time, free mind. So like that, I feel like so many things. That's my duty. I understand my duty, but instead of that, I just feel to hear some kind words from my family, and that never happened since my 25 years of marriage life.
I
So
get that,
that's why
exactly what I'm talking about. You haven't had that internal validation. So how are you going to ever feel confident in what you have to offer? So this is an internal shift that needs to happen within you, to know your worth, to know how valuable you are, to know,
yes,
to believe that whatever I do is of value. I may not have been perceived or given the messages that I'm of any value in this situation. So it's something that needs to happen
yeah,
inside. But I totally hear what you're saying. And I just want you to know everything that you said you've achieved inside the family and for yourself is incredible.
yes, yes.
So let me throw it out to the panel. Who would like to help with this situation?
I like to, I mean, I feel like now what is the goal and what is the purpose? No, what is my identity? My own identity. Now I'm not working, I'm not earning nothing, but I earn, yeah, I earn goodwill, everything, appreciation from outside of my family, from my friends, and another like my father's side, my family, everyone, but not my in-laws side. Only I have the gold medal, like is my daughters only. Both appreciate me in everywhere, and both is my like my helping hand. So that is the, yeah,
This is an easy one to answer, but I know it's not the answer that you're looking for, right?
yeah, I'm still searching, and I am confused. That's
It's
why,
confusing because we put what we do and how we earn money on the value of who we are. Let's just say, right, the world was going to end tomorrow, right? God forbid, but the world was going to end tomorrow, right? And we all gathered and we said, right, who's going to do what in this, cataclysmic situation? each one of us would have different strengths and values. And that's the purpose. So what are your, and you don't have to answer it now, what are your top 3 strengths that if the world were going to end tomorrow and we needed like people to muck in and do, you know, help out, think about what your top 3 strengths and values would be. You know, for me, it might be taking care of kids. It might be like going over and being compassionate with someone and talking kindly to them, whatever. But you have your set and everybody else has a different set. That is as simple as it goes when it comes to what you have to offer. Whatever you do to make money is not the same as internally what you have to offer as a person. I think the thought pattern needs to go there, and the connection to yourself, firstly, needs to go there. Then when you're comfortable with who you are, you will know what you then want to offer.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody else want to chip in with anything?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Sam?
Hi, Mira. It's going to be a reiteration really of what Anne-Marie said. But when you first started speaking, I clearly got the word about nature connection. And this, for you, is that internal connection is needed. And when we are searching for what is our purpose in the world, you have given so much to your family, your marriage in these 25 years. And it can become like, my purpose is what I offer the world. It's my job. And like Anne-Marie said, that actually isn't. Our purpose is finding who we are inside and that identity. So for you, I think it is more of that inner journey, connecting to yourself, the meditation, connecting to nature, the elements. I'm getting like you're working with the different elements and the seasons would be beneficial for you. I feel it is a new beginning for you. You've asked a question, so you know you're already started taking that step on the journey. And think about everything you've given to everyone else. Start giving that to yourself as well. You know, it is, and I know I've done this. I've tried to seek external recognition for you know what my purpose is or what I've given to the world. And really, it is about turning that around. And it all starts with us, and we have to do that for ourselves first. And that's when our confidence grows. That's when the connection grows. That's when we start getting clarity. The confusion goes. Because until we know who we are and face all parts of us, the good, the bad, the ugly, you won't be able to sustainably build the solid foundation. So it is really about going back to your roots and building it up from there, but doing it for yourself and not for what anyone else says to you. It's just knowing in your own heart, I'm good enough.
Yeah. I pulled another question, barefoot coaching cards. So it just says here, and just something for you to contemplate. Don't forget, these are designed for team coaching. So we have to try and shift the question to ourselves. 80% of problems in organizations result from people not being honest, according to psychologist William Schultz. I can't say that. To what extent is this true for you? So think about honesty. Okay, you may have heard a lot of misconceptions about yourself, your place in the world, who you should be, what you have to offer. Okay, but this is maybe now time to get honest with yourself. That's the hardest thing to do. It's really, really difficult. It's a whole journey in itself to get completely honest with ourselves and to be free of a belief system that holds us back. It's quite safe to stay in a belief system. It really is. It can serve us. Oh, well, I've been told that I shouldn't do. Okay, I'll just stay here then. But when you want to kind of move away from that, it's very scary, and it is about empowerment of yourself. So it's doable. And as I say, just take on board how amazing you are and what you've achieved so far. Thank you, Mira.
Thank you.
Okay, we can take a couple more. Who would like to go? Yes, sorry, Jessie. Yes.
I'll try and make this as short as possible. So from the age of 23, I was in pub work up until literally when COVID stopped. I've never been a career person. I've never known what I want to do for a career. I did a lot of dancing when I was younger, gave it up, and it's one of my hugest regrets. I'm 34 now, so there's no chance of sort of getting back into all of that. It's been too long. But I've also found that, with COVID, my grandmother passed away in 2019. And from there, I started to feel myself sort of change. I sort of, I can't really explain it. I noticed I was sort of drinking a little bit more than I would normally. I mean, and then obviously when COVID happened, unfortunately, I was in a very, not a nice relationship, shall we say, and we moved in together just before COVID. So I had to deal with that. Then my mum passed away in 2020. But just before my mum passed away, I found out I had a syndrome, and I was told pub work wasn't good for me because of my joints, my knees, my hips and everything. And, I have done previous work where I've worked in offices, but there's a slight chance I might have ADHD, and I don't really function well within sitting behind a computer. I can be quite sociable, and I think being active and doing something is more something along my line. Unfortunately, obviously, with the two passings they were my only family, my grandma and my mum. So I have no family now. Getting out of a bad relationship, I kind of lost myself, and where I don't really want to do pub work anymore, I'm kind of stuck with trying to find what kind of career to have. I've got no sort of qualifications. I've always been a people pleaser, but I'm really trying to stop that. I'm really creating boundaries. I'm starting to realize that, especially where my mother's not alive, she was the main person I would look to be told I was doing well, and she's obviously not here anymore. So I've also learned that where I was wanting people to say, well done, or that's brilliant, that's great, and not getting that, I was hurting myself. So I have gradually worked on that. I wasn't very spiritual before. My friend said that I had spirituality and she could see it, but obviously I wasn't awoken, I wasn't aware of it. And especially since my mum passed away, I've really delved in. I'm really interested in crystals, in the moon. I do rituals and stuff like that, and that sort of kept me going. But this has been going on for like nearly 4 years now, and I'm stuck in a place where I'm trying to figure out a career, at the same time as doing some real good work on myself. I've stopped drinking. I'm doing everything I can for self-care. But I tend to do things and then it sort of goes, and then I get low. And then I do find the fire after a while and build it up. I don't try and stay on that for too long, but I just feel very stuck in where to take my step forward because, all right, self-care is very good, but I'm not earning anything. And I think that that's a stress in my head as well. So, yeah.
So, the stress in your head.
Mm.
Yes. Is the stress in your head conflict? Would you name it as conflict?
Yeah, so I've recently just split up with my boyfriend for nearly 2 years, and he lives not here, and I was traveling back and forth, hoping to move there. So I've had this major big shift of a really healthy relationship, really loving. He's ended up in a depression, and I was really suffering with that. He wasn't, we had no communication. So I'm in that sort of stage of like, it's very stressful because now I'm having to start again where I've grown up, which shouldn't be hard, but I'm trying to stay away from certain people. It's all very too much.
I hear you. But a question for you is to think about inside your world, do you have conflict?
Yes.
Yeah. So some of the cards that I've pulled here, so the barefoot coaching one again is how does the team, you, deal with conflict? And I'm just wondering, the fire you said you get before you get motivated. It'd be interesting to know, probably more of a session, but what fuels that? What is that fire? Is it conflict driven? is it that you beat yourself up with a stick and then there comes the motivation, which if it's always like that, it can be quite draining on your energy.
Yeah.
This was a card that I pulled around the archetype. This actually is a card of resting and dreaming. And also this card came up as well, which is silence, which is hard to do when we're such in a state of conflict and we're trying to figure things out. It's like, and who wants silence when we're in that mode? It's difficult, isn't it? It's like two sides.
Yeah.
The need for silence and rest and intuitive thinking and contemplation versus this fire, this fuel that gets you motivated potentially, but actually is conflict driven. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've found since I've come back from my boyfriend, I had to leave. We're on good terms, we're fine. We just know it's the right thing for us. We've got a lot of work to do on both sides. I do find that I've kept myself away. I've not been very sociable. Only a few people know I'm back because I am trying to process everything, get rid of emotions, like heal from them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've got this pressure is that where I'm not putting all my effort into moving now, I'm having to stay here. It's what's my purpose here?
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I get that. And I, can say I'm in a state of conflict all the time with all the bloody thoughts and ideas that come around in my head.
yeah.
There was something that you said at the start, I'm 35, and there was something about dancing, and then I'm 35, well, I can't do that now. Now, that is a massive limiting belief. That is a massive, that does not make sense. 35, right? You might not end up, on wherever, but there are so many women that you can help through dancing. Now, that's just an idea. Obviously not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. But you have to think outside the box. Yeah, you might not be a dancer in the traditional sense that you thought you would when you were, I don't know, 18, 20. But what can you do now if you love it, if you still love it, if you're still fit and able to do it? That can help people and actually can turn into a source of income as well. So that's just a little bit of, food for thought for you. But let's throw it over to the panel. Would anybody else like to help in?
I just wanted to ask a question for you to get you to think about yourself, which is what lights you up, what really makes you excited, what do you love, what are you really interested in, what would you like to do? Because it feels like you're trying to solve a problem with it from a place of logic, which is completely understandable because that's what we do naturally. It's what we're programmed to do. That's what we're taught to do. We've got a problem, we work it out through our head. But actually, if you can get yourself to the place that Anne-Marie is talking about, which is a place of stillness and a place of quiet, and you can sit and you can listen to within yourself, what is it that you love and what would you love to do? Maybe that is dancing, maybe it's something else, then that might be something for you to work from. But it feels to me like it's not a logical process for you, that it's going to be an emotional and an intuitive knowing within you, which you can only get to once you've reached a place of calm and a place of stillness.
Thank you. Yeah, you just saying that just resonated. I do tend to like being there for people and giving advice. Everyone comes to me and they go, "You're so
often that's safer, isn't it?"
And I get a sense of a huge achievement of helping that person and making them feel a bit lighter, even if it's for that 5 minutes,
Sure. But often giving that advice is easier for us than it is to receive it. And often we say what we need to hear. So it'd be interesting next time someone comes to you for advice to listen to what you're saying to them, because it would also probably be advice that you need to hear for yourself, something which would resonate deeply with you. But if that's what you love to do, if it lights you up to make a difference, then that may well be your starting point. But you won't get there from a place of logic. You won't get there from a place of struggle. You won't get there when you're within conflict yourself. You need to do what you're doing and work on that conflict, reach a place of stillness, whether going into nature is your thing, whether sitting in physical stillness is your thing, whether listening to music is your thing, whatever your thing is, to get you to that place where you can listen to what's going within you. That's where your answer is. It's not an external, it's an internal.
Thank you. Amazing. No problem, Marie. Just reading some of the chat, giving each other support, which is so lovely to see. It's just such a lovely environment. So I think because we've had loads of questions being sent in, and obviously you're all here, you've probably all, you know, would love to hear something. I'm going to continue to do these sessions in some format. But well, let's take one more. Somebody raised their hand actually. Yes,
Hi
go
there.
for it, Tammy, and we'll all have a go.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thank
So, my whole journey, I've always been a giver, and I'm a retired respiratory therapist, and I just finished my Reiki master, and I feel that I'm intuitive as well, and I want to further grow into intuition and mediumship, and I'm not sure which um, classes or how do you choose for me to continue to develop my gifts.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, where are you, Tammy? Are you in the States?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, so in the UK, we have something called meetups. And they are, I don't know if they're worldwide or just UK based, but there are a lot of groups out there, apps out there that you can find events and you can put in specifically what you're looking for. It's just literally a case of researching to get you in the right groups. I don't know if you'd maybe go to spiritualist churches. That's a thing that a lot of mediums like to do here. And just trying to find your tribe, really. Obviously,
Exactly.
the places where you've trained, keep in touch with the people, go to the groups, start to practice on people is probably one of the biggest things, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I have been practicing on my own with
Yeah,
other people.
it's a case of practice, building up your skill and going to as many events that you possibly
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Yeah. So good luck with your journey, Tammy. Let us know
Thank
how you get
you.
on.
Yeah.
Sam, you said Cheryl has had her hand up for a while. If Cheryl has a question, yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
hi Anne-Marie.
Hiya.
Hi, thanks for everything you're doing here.
Oh, my
Um,
pleasure.
yeah, I'm so excited about this week. So, if my dog starts barking, I'll mute it very quickly. But I suppose what I have is a combination of everything that lots of people are saying. Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, there was just
Okay, sorry. So during COVID, I've always been a spiritual person. I've always felt spiritual. I've never acted on it. I've never done anything about it, but I've just always believed in life after death. I've always believed in the spirit world. I've always believed in reincarnation. Don't know where it came from, just always have. It's a knowing, I suppose you would call it. And then I joined a mediumship group during COVID online, which I think helped enormously. And then my Reiki, I completed my Reiki master last year, and I've also done an equine Reiki course, which I intend to do the others. But I feel lost. I feel completely lost in terms of the direction that I'm going in. I'm also doing your course for oh God, no, I'm going blank.
it's good then, yeah.
But yeah, for the like the spiritual coach kind of.
Yeah. Is it the introduction one? Yeah.
Yeah, I have. So I started that, and when you just get to a point and you think, I've just got so much going on in my head and so much going on around me, and what is my purpose here? Where am I going? And am I choosing the right path? And then you start to doubt yourself. And the one thing I know that I struggle with now, in a former life, I was a sales and marketing director. Okay. I have no problem asking people for money, for services, for goods. Okay, don't. However, for this kind of work, I do.
Yeah.
And I have a real issue with that.
Yeah.
So, help.
I'm gonna let the team, the panel, see that success. I'm gonna let the panel I love that. That's reminding me of a giving hand, with a receiving portal in the middle. So yeah, just think about that. I'm going to let the panel take this one. So for those who haven't spoken, Victoria, Paula, let's get some, Emma, let's get some juice out of you.
Shall I go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cheryl, I was in sales for 20 something years, same as you. I did like a million of sales a year. And then I started my own business and I'm like, holy shit, I've got to ask someone for thousands of pounds. And first of all, recognize it's just fear. It's just the not good enough thing coming up, first of all. And every single thing I've done in my whole 3 years, every single time I've done it, every single time I've launched something, every single time I've done anything, the same fear, the same doubts, I still have to calm my inner child. I still have to ask myself, why not me? Every single time. So I'm just going to say, there is no magic bullet here. It gets easier, but that thing will always remain. But ultimately, it is a not good enough that is running through. And I know you said you're doing the spiritual introduction course with Anne-Marie. Have you done a lot of internal work here?
I have been doing an awful lot of internal work over the last few years, really. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've obviously, what I found really useful was looking at all the things that lit me up. I looked at my skill set that I was carrying through from corporate as well. If you're a sales and marketing director, did you say? Like you've already got a head start on anyone else starting a business, by the way, because most people do it and they haven't got any sort of background. It's about, in a way, calming your nervous system, thinking about all the stuff you're actually going to be able to carry through, all the skill sets you're going to be able to carry through. I'd go really deep on your personal, like the work that you're doing on the life coaching course with Anne-Marie. Really go deep there, because this is a complete recalibration of your identity that you're going through as well. And so you'll be going through the conflict every time you think you're doing the right thing. There'll be that old identity pulling you back saying, no, you're still, there. But like we've said a lot today, it's about getting really quiet and asking the question I found really useful is, if I knew I couldn't fail, in what capacity do I want to help people and in what way? Or if I had £1 million sat in the bank, in what capacity or what way? And it gets rid of all that logical, practical how thinking. And it helps you tune into, if I could just do the thing that's going to light me up, what would it be? And it will help you understand what that is. And then it will help you understand as well if there's any skill gaps that you do need to plug.
Yeah. I mean, I know that it's helping people. And the feedback I get from everybody is, I mean, I am the person, like some of your other guys on here today, who are the go-to person for people. And I help in, what flows out of me is just what flows out of me. And it's a natural thing. And it's not something I think about or try. It just happens. And people's feedback, and people are always saying to me, oh, you should do something with this. And it's that whole, you should do something with this. And I'm like, yeah, but what? And I've got the whole, I do think, I was talking to a psychic who actually came and did a reading on my horse, actually, funnily enough. And she also mentioned life coach to me. And it keeps coming up. And I guess the universe is sending me its messages. And I did the research and I kept seeing Anne-Marie's courses coming up on Facebook. And I kind of thought, well, there you go, there's another message, because I was going to do the meditation one. And then I saw the spiritual coach come up. So I've chosen to go that route. But it is that whole, I know I want to help people. It's that, how do I package that? If as a sales and marketing director, I should know.
No, you shouldn't know. You're getting lost in the how because you don't yet know how to package it. And that's what stops 80% of people who want to walk this path. That's what stops them from actually doing it. They think about all the stuff. You just need to do one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. And we seek external answers. We want someone to tell us what to do. You will have to learn this when you start your own business, because you will be starting your own business and it's going to be very successful. But it's about going within every single time. Every time I've ever made a decision from what someone else has thought, it's taken me down the wrong path and it's put me back 10 paces. So go within, work out money, no object. If you knew the hows, what would it be? Make the investments you need to. It sounds like that one that you've made with Anne-Marie is perfect. I did the master diploma with her, which was fabulous as well, which goes into a whole host more detail. But I would honestly go within, take all the hows away, and then just start doing one step in front of the other. I didn't have a freaking clue how to do anything when I started my business.
Okay. Amazing, Victoria. And just quickly before the other panelists have a go at helping you out here, what came through with the barefoot coaching card is what got us here. So what got you here won't get us there.
Okay.
And that's exactly what you're saying. I feel at heart, right? You're a healer. Yeah. You need to work with your hands. You need, it's energy, it's vibration, it's healing that is really gonna be the thing that gets you going. Whether that's gonna be the same, but that's how I started. Like, I want to heal. I just got this, like, I was so into it. And that just reminds me of this. It's such aura, it's energy giving out, but at the same time, in the middle, there's also an energy portal. So consider that energy portal. You know, you can sit with it and just, you know, basically love it, like nurture it. It's okay to have an energy portal that receives so you can give. And also this other card I chose to you, which is an archetype card. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's like, I thought, okay, that's interesting. Is she scared? Does she bully herself? Is she been subjected to bullying? But actually what came through more is the attitude that you need to adopt when thinking about asking for a sale. It's like, and we used to see this meme go around and it's like, and what? Do you know what I mean? You've got to have that. To me, it's like saying, have that attitude, that confidence. It's, let's say, 50 quid and what? Do you know what I mean? It's that confidence and attitude, leader of the pack. Like, it's this much and what? It's a really scouse way to put it, but that's what came through. Anybody else? Paula, I have a feeling you want to say something.
Just to say that, to remember that people are investing in you as well, you know, what you're giving them. You've already said how much you help people, and it can be difficult at first moving from employment into kind of self-employment, because it's just, you receive your wages each month, and actually asking people for money when you're coming from a heart-led space because you want to help everybody. But what I've found, if you do things for nothing, people don't appreciate it, and sometimes they just don't turn up. You know, I've given freebies away and people haven't turned up. So people will respect you more if you put a charge as well, you know, because they'll know that your value is at a certain level.
I agree with that. Thank you. Sam?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get off mute then. Ditto what everyone said. And I think there's a theme that we've all learned in our own journeys. It is an inner job, as it were. The inner healing has to start first. But when I'm going to keep this short because of other people and time. When you were speaking about the stuff you've been doing recently, and you know, you're spiritual, but you hadn't really stepped into it. The word that stood out to me, I got an intuitive hit, was equine. When you mentioned that, I got an intuitive hit. So Anne-Marie's just said about, you know, the healing might be the beginning point of this journey for you. But I feel there is a connection that you can develop further with the equine healing and horses. And that is something that you would be able to package into coaching and healing. But that's what hit me. Out of all the ways you said, I got equine is relevant for you.
Amazing.
Lovely. Thank you.
Emma?
Yeah, there's not really much I can add. I kind of agree with everything, and I got equine as well. It came through really strongly for me. So yeah, I do feel like you have got so much to offer though. You've got a lovely, lovely energy about you, and just for me as well, what kept coming up was the why rather than the how. Concentrating on the how, concentrating more on the why element of it, and then that will bring the answers that you need that are going to help you step forward, rather than just concentrating on the how, because I definitely didn't know how when I started my business, but I knew my why and why I wanted to do it, and that's really helped me really propel forward.
Thank you. Amanda?
Again, exactly the same. Nothing to add except for equine was what jumped out at me as well, and I was waiting to say that, but it's already been said, so I'll just emphasise it really, really strongly. Yeah.
Amazing. Kristen?
Yeah, I would just say, trust yourself to make the right decisions. Try not to overthink everything, especially as you're just starting and getting moving. I think that if you are called to a particular path or course or any, like a book, any interest, just follow that and see where it leads you. Because it's going to lead you in the right place. And even if it's not that specific thing, it's going to lead you to the next thing. So I always think of that as this nice windy journey that we all take, and eventually you get exactly to where you need to be. So just keep going.
That is a perfect way to end it, because the cards I picked for the whole group who are here today is the 10 of Wands, which is basically, I'll talk about that, and then a card that says delight as well. The 10 of Wands can feel like we're carrying the weight of the world on our back, but it's actually about inspiration. The Wands are about inspiration. It can feel burdensome when you're stepping into a new kind of avatar, if you like, a healer, a coach, whatever that looks like, breaking away from family traditions and beliefs. It can feel like it's a burden and not a delight. So the way you just ended that was perfect. We do not know where we're going to end up, but it's based on our choices that we make leads to outcomes. If we can start to maybe bring back not just what to do, what do I do next, how much do I charge, but why do I even want to do this in the first place? Try and stick with the energy resonance of why you want to do it, why you want to help people, and put your energy there. Then the rest will figure it out, because we're so limited. We're basing our future on the past experiences that we've had. So by doing that, we've already limited ourselves, but creating the same future as we've had in the past, because sometimes we just can't expand our mind big enough to realize what our possibilities look like. So instead of trying to consciously figure it out and it feels burdensome, just sit back, try and relax if it's possible, and just pray if that's okay with you, and just say, I trust you. I'm here to do this. This is why I want to do it. Bring the right people into my life. I quite often command to the universe that they bring me the right people to help me bring life to this project, whatever that may be, because I just cannot figure it out, and I get angry and I get frustrated, I get burnt out, and guess what? I want to quit. That's who I become when I'm in that mode. But when I just say, just can sort it out for me, it takes the burden off me. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'm sure I'll see some of you back tomorrow. Thank you so much for our amazing panelists and all the advice and guidance that you've given today. And we will continue to do these above and beyond International Coaching Week, which ends on Friday. This will have gone live on the Soul Awakening Academy Facebook page. So I would love it if you went over there, and maybe you can't post on there. I'm sorry, maybe you can't post on there, but send me a message. Or if you're in the Soul Awakening Coach group, just let me know if you would like to continue having this experience going forward. If it's been helpful for you, any feedback, that would be amazing. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. Lots of love to you all. Take care, everyone. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Oh, wow. All the faces. It's so cool. I'm
Thank
just
you.
watching it all go. That was awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Take care. I'll be in touch, okay? Lots of love.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.